Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Shong. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. China has grown increasingly concerned about its students' mental health over recent years. In 2020, researchers affiliated to the Chinese Academy of Science estimate that nearly 25% of the country's teenagers were living with some form of depression, a finding that triggered a wave of reforms to improve psychological support services inside Chinese schools. Yet, less attention has been paid to the growing mental health crisis affecting teachers. Many Chinese educators were already struggling before 2020, as the schools and the pushy parents exerted a relentless pressure to boost students' scores in the country's all-important national exams. But things have gotten far worse during the pandemic. When Yu moved to the eastern Chinese city of Hangzhou to start her first teaching job in 2021, she arrived full of hope and idealism. By the way, Yu is her pseudonym for privacy reasons. The fresh graduate was determined to educate the next generation and treat every teenager under her care as an individual. That didn't last long. Within weeks, Yu found herself struggling to cope. She had 80 students to teach, a rigid exam-oriented curriculum to follow, and intense pressure to hit wildly ambitious grade targets. She began to suffer from anxiety. She told the Chinese media outlet Six-Tone, "I felt like a machine and the students were molds. In my first year at work, I cried every day. There were a lot of things I couldn't adapt to." Lockdown and online teaching sent teachers' stress levels soaring in China. But unlike most countries, the pandemic new normal never ended. This month saw China's schools return for a third academic year under zero COVID restrictions. Snap lockdowns and time-consuming virus control protocols remain common. Meanwhile, the double reduction campaign, which effectively eliminated the country's massive private tutoring industry, has made teachers' jobs even harder this year. Before, millions of parents paid tutors to help their children ace their exams. Now, the tutors are gone, but parents and the schools still expect students to achieve the same results. For teachers, this means more work, more pressure, and less time off. Many can't handle the stress. A study published last year found that over 75% of Chinese teachers experienced moderate to severe anxiety, while 34% of primary school teachers and 28% of middle school teachers are at high risk of suffering depression. The problem has become so prevalent, it was even mentioned during this year's two sessions, with policymakers acknowledging that teachers are more tired and more anxious than before. The two sessions are China's biggest annual political meeting. Before September 10th, China's Teachers' Day, media outlet Six-Tone spoke with 10 educators from across the country. Most of them are working longer hours than before due to the pandemic or the double reduction campaign and suffering from stress and anxiety as a result. Yet, many said their schools offered little support, with mental health services tending to focus on students. Instead, many teachers bottle up their problems as there is a strong cultural pressure in China for teachers to be endlessly self-sacrificing and devoted. Liu Shengnan is an associate professor at a Shanghai-based university who specializes in education. She says it's still common for Chinese teachers to have to deal with their mental health issues alone. For Yu, the main source of stress is the National College Entrance Examination, or Gaokao. The year leading up to the test involves day after day of intense cramming, and it's just as grueling for the teachers as the students. Yu works from 7 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. on weekdays and also has classes on Saturdays. Her fate depends on her students' scores, as the schools in China are judged almost entirely on their Gaokao results. Yu says, the admission rates for the Gaokao affects the number of students applying to our high school. School leaders pay great attention to senior student scores and rankings. Teachers with the students in senior year are watched closely, Yu says. School leaders often open the classroom door to listen to classes without warning, check Yu's teaching plans randomly, and ask students how their homework is graded. If we don't teach or perform well, we'll be suspended from class or transferred to teach 10th grade, Yu says. This could actually cause great psychological damage to teachers. But the school does almost nothing to help teachers deal with the mental strain, Yu says. It offers no activities or guidance related to mental health. Yu often feels that she's not treated like a person who deserves care. Xu Hanping is a psychology teacher at a primary school in the central Chinese city of Wuhan. He has spent years working on mental health in different schools, trying to convince principals to take the issue more seriously. He says this cold, results-oriented culture remains common, especially in rural parts of China. In Xu's experience, teachers in China often struggle with similar problems as their peers elsewhere. Their feelings that their work is undervalued, tense relationship with school principals, colleagues, students, and parents, or the strain of physical illness as they age. But some cultural factors can make things even more challenging for Chinese educators. One is the entrenched belief that teaching is akin to being an engineer of the human soul and the most glorious occupation under the sun. Many teachers are morally kidnapped by these values, she says. The pandemic has also hit China's education system hard. Online teaching has brought massive disruption, with teachers finding it impossible to maintain the same quality of education. Yet, parents have often refused to acknowledge these difficulties. Whenever their children's grades slip, they blame the school, and the school blames the teachers. Most Chinese schools are now resuming in-classroom teaching, but COVID-19 controls continue to dominate school life. In Shanghai, school teachers have to check their students' health codes almost every day. School staff are also responsible for giving students PCR tests, and there are frequent meetings to discuss virus suppression measures. Pandemic control and prevention is placed above everything else. Liu is a high school English teacher in the southwestern Yunnan province. She complained that she has to work long hours. Each week, she takes 14 classes and supervises 2 evening self-study sessions. And she doesn't finish work until the students return to their dormitories at 10:50 p.m. It feels like the pandemic measures are swallowing up much of her remaining downtime. Liu teaches in a boarding school. Liu says, studying documents relating to the pandemic has taken over teachers' time to rest. Plus, the teachers and the students have all been locked down inside the school even during the summer and winter vacations. Worse, Liu tells Six Tong that she also has not been paid on time due to the economic slowdown caused by this year's wave of lockdowns. According to England's Health and Safety Executive, teaching is the most stressful occupation there is. According to the American Institute of Stress, teachers are more likely to suffer job-related stress than other professionals. In China, it is more so. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, be well.